In Jack's mind, there was only that question without finding an answer. What? How did this guy get here so fast? He thought, his gaze directed at Annie, the girl who was looking at him with a bewildered expression. Annie looked into the handsome eyes, but it did not spare her life. She realized that there was no way out, her heart racing wildly, her body trembling uncontrollably, completely paralyzed as if frozen. Chen Yuan gently asked, his tone as if nothing had happened. Tell me who sent you. If you speak up, I might let you leave with your body intact. Jack, a master in close combat, held a three-bladed dagger in his hand that could finish off an opponent in an instant. Jack had often killed with just a swift movement, leaving his opponents dead before they even realized it. But before he could draw his knife, Chen Yuan easily broke Jack's neck like snapping a dry twig. The sound of breaking bones sent chills down the spine of anyone who heard it. Chen Yuan continued to stare intently at the girl before him. His voice resonated not loud but enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Speak quickly. Who sent you? Annie glanced at Jack, who now lay motionless against the wall. She didn't know what to do other than pray for her survival for a few more seconds. She immediately switched to her outstanding actress mode, pretending to be remorseful and begging for mercy. I'll talk. I will tell everything. Just don't kill me. Chen Yuan let her down. Amy looked weak and pitiful. With this appearance, it was hard for anyone to resist. She said, I don't know who wants to kill you. We just took the task from the darknet. Someone offered $200 million for your life. Hearing that huge sum of money, Chen Yuan calmly muttered, that reward sounds quite high, doesn't it? Please spare my life. I'm willing to do anything to atone for my sins. Annie said as she slowly unbuttoned her shirt, revealing a deep cleavage. If he were an ordinary person, he would surely melt away. Spare my life. I will obey you. Just don't kill me. But Chen Yuan was not an ordinary person. He looked straight at Annie, his gaze unwavering, and Chen Yuan continued to ask, what is Darknet? Annie replied, but didn't forget to prepare to pull out the hidden dagger. Darknet is the largest international website for assassins. Very few people know about it, and the missions are kept extremely secret. Chen Yuan continued to ask, is there any way to investigate who gave the order? Annie shook her head, her expression slightly regretful. The identity of the contract killer's employer is always kept confidential. The mission will continue until... Chen Yuan could no longer contain his impatience. Until what? Annie's tone changed, no longer weak, but rather determined. Until you die. With that, she drew a knife intending to stab Chen Yuan directly in the neck. But Annie was mistaken. Chen Yuan was not an easily deceived man. Chen Yuan's hand was as quick as a flash, easily catching Annie's blade before it could reach his neck. Chen Yuan smirked as if he had anticipated everything. Annie stood frozen, her face pale, and her heart filled with fear. She had underestimated Chen Yuan, who was not only skilled in conversation, but also a master of close combat. In an instant, all her plans were shattered like a soap bubble. Chen Yuan immediately grabbed Annie by the throat, tightening his grip without hesitation. I gave you a chance, and you did not appreciate it. As soon as the words were spoken, a bone-cracking sound echoed, sending chills down the spine of anyone who heard it. The female assassin who once instilled fear in many was now just a soulless corpse. Chen Yuan gathered his phone, recorded some information from the unfortunate victims, and gently vanished from the scene. Not long after, he appeared at the film crew, calm as if nothing had happened. Wang Mang looked at Chen Yuan suspiciously and asked, Chen Yuan, where have you been for so long? Where's the car? We're about to shoot, and I couldn't find you. Chen Yuan knew his life was being hunted relentlessly, but he still calmly replied, oh, just a little trouble. There was a traffic accident ahead, and I couldn't get through, but it's fine. I've called a helicopter. Today, you will go back by helicopter. There are too many people not obeying the law lately, and as a good citizen, I don't feel safe. Wang Mang sighed. Brother, tomorrow Jai Lu and I have to return to school. A few days late, the teachers kept calling to urge me. Hearing this, Jai Lu stubbornly clung to Chen Yuan, refusing to let go. No, I don't want to go to school. I want to stay and play with you, Chen Yuan. What's so fun about school? It's just boring theory. I can only learn many useful things being with you. Wang Mang, who originally believed in the importance of education, tried to shake Jai Lu to persuade her. Jai Lu, what are you thinking? You're in college now and still skipping class? How will you get a degree if you don't study? Jai Lu wouldn't listen and responded defiantly. What's a degree for anyway? To find a job? I'm already a deputy director. People graduate but aren't necessarily able to become the head of a 100 billion corporation like me. Wang Mang was taken aback and fell silent, unsure of how to respond. It really was an impossible question for anyone facing a girl who not only broke the game with her reasoning but also possessed undeniable talent. Seeing that this internal conflict was not going well, Chen Yuan quickly intervened. Listen, Zhai Lu, go back to school with Meng Meng and then you can fly back to Maduo. I also feel that it isn't good to let Meng Meng go alone. Moreover, there are people offering rewards to find me lately. It's not safe at all. Zhang Zilu's eyes began to well up with tears about to cry. I don't want to go back. Chen Yuan, are you kicking me out too? Hugo, I don't want to be away from you, please. Chen Yuan was also speechless, but his mind was racing. Right now, I'm being pursued by a killer, but I can't say anything. Speaking out would only make everyone more worried, he thought to himself. To be honest, given the situation today, if Yi Han, Qin Wushuang, Wang Mengmeng, and Zheng Jialu were all in the car, they would all die if that savage truck came crashing in. There's no way any of them would escape. Immediately afterwards, Chen Yuan seemed to have a new idea and said seriously, Jialu, I'm not just bringing you back to Muddo for school. There's an extremely important mission. I wouldn't trust this task to anyone else. Only you, as Zhai Lu, can handle it. Just that one sentence made Zheng Zilu, who was previously in tears, suddenly become clear-headed and excited. Is it true, Chen Yuan? What kind of mission is so important? Seeing Chen Yuan's serious expression, Zheng Zilu hurriedly asked again. As soon as Chen Yuan finished speaking, Qin Wushuang, who was not far away, was left speechless. He Han thought for a moment and nodded, murmuring, it is indeed a bit strange. After dealing with Zheng Zilu, Chen Yuan approached Yi Han and Qin Wushuang, using a similar tactic. Miss Yi, Miss Qin, you two surely don't plan to stay at my place forever, do you? Or shall we head back to Maduo? It might be a bit awkward for you to stay here too long. Seeing Chen Yuan trying to chase them away like he was getting rid of evil spirits, Qin Wushuang was not at all hesitant to retort. Ha ha! Are you trying to drive us away? Such a huge manor. We're not taking up any space of yours. And we are paying in full. It's not like we're taking anything from you, so why worry? As she spoke, she puffed up her cheeks in annoyance, feeling as if Chen Yuan had suddenly changed his attitude. When performing, he was so kind, but now he suddenly wanted to kick out his guests, showing no sense of camaraderie at all. Just then, the loud sirens of police cars startled everyone. The intersection ahead was completely blocked, leaving no room for any vehicle to squeeze through. A swarm of police cars arrived, with flashing red and blue lights, looking like a light show. Zheng Zilu immediately switched to drama mode. Why are there so many police cars here? Chen Yuan remained calm, but his expression had become noticeably more serious. At the same time, a bodyguard next to Yi Han quickly approached and announced, Miss, there's a big problem. Yi Han couldn't help but startle, but calmly asked back, What is it? The bodyguard lowered his voice, looking around as if afraid someone might overhear. There has been a very serious car accident up ahead. 2 foreign men have been killed, and on their bodies, the police found daggers and guns. Currently, they are investigating their identities. This could possibly be disguised assassins, even linked to international crime. Upon hearing this, not only Yi Han, but also Qin Wushuang turned pale. A scary thought began to emerge in their minds. If they really are assassins, could it be that they are targeting us? After all, we've experienced a dangerous kidnapping, and it wouldn't be strange if someone placed a bounty on us. Who says Yi Han is the young mistress of the Yi family, having the right to inherit the 100 billion long Hulk Corporation at such a young age? If anything were to happen to her, many people would benefit greatly. Yi Han immediately realized that this situation could be much more serious and was not just a simple traffic accident. Although she maintained a cold expression on the outside, a wave of worry surged within her. If someone really wants to kill us, this is not a joke. The 2 girls looked at each other, eyes wide, and took a deep breath. Less than half an hour later, Yi Han's bodyguard rushed over, his face tense. Miss, we have discovered 3 more dead assassins. This time, the entire city police department is in chaos. Next to these individuals, the police found a 16 scope and an M24 sniper rifle. Initial assessments indicate a total of 5 assassins. They arrived in Tiananmen 3 days ago, ostensibly accepting an invitation to perform at a bar. But in reality, they have been lurking around the theater area to monitor it. The sniper position was set up on the road opposite the troop, a very advantageous spot for an ambush. Miss, if you leave the theater, you will be right in their crosshairs. The bodyguard continued, his expression remaining tense. Furthermore, the crime scene is very suspicious. These assassins, some had their necks broken, while others had their heads shot through by stones. I can't understand how that could happen. A stone shooting through a head sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. Hearing this, both Yi Han and Qin Wushuang felt a chill down their spines. Their eyes widened as they realized they had just narrowly escaped the jaws of death. But immediately, a question full of doubt sprang to their minds. Wait, did that rock really pierce through the head? This is just like Chen Yuan's style. Qin Wushuang reflected and felt a wave of emotion. Did Chen Yuan step in to deal with those assassins that help us? Earlier, he urged us to return to Ma Duo and must have meant this. But why did he keep it a secret? Yi Han nodded anxiously. That's right, no wonder Shen Yuan kept urging us to go back to Ma Duo. We can't let this spread any further. It has to be handled quickly before it blows up. Chen Yuan has already done so much quietly. We cannot let him be blamed for murder. Determined to help Chen Yuan, Qin Wushuang immediately called her family, leveraging the power of the Qin family to manage everything and quell public opinion. After the call, Qin Wushuang felt a bit of relief in her heart, knowing that Chen Yuan had quietly protected them. This man always took on everything himself, handling matters that had nothing to do with him, putting himself in danger silently like this. However, Yi Han, being the more rational one, started to analyze the situation. She made a rather logical observation. Sister Wushuang, have you considered the possibility that these assassins are actually not targeting us, but might be after Chen Yuan instead? Although the likelihood of the assassins coming to assassinate us is quite high, given Chen Yuan's position in the business world, it is not impossible for him to have enemies. Qin Wushuang nodded in agreement. Yi Han, it could indeed be as you say, that the assassins are here to target Chen Yuan and have nothing to do with us. But even so, we still owe Chen Yuan a great debt. Not doing anything to repay him makes me feel uneasy. Moreover, the chances of them targeting us are still greater, right? Yi Han agreed with Qin Wushuang, but did not forget to remind her. Exactly, Sister Wushuang's reasoning makes sense. I just want to analyze all possibilities. We will handle this together. I'm sure Chen Yuan doesn't want his cultivate immortality identity to be exposed, but this time he has taken things a bit too far. I wonder how we can resolve this smoothly. Then, thinking about the incident involving a stone piercing someone's head, Yi Han and Qin Wushuang felt that this situation was truly chaotic, but they had to admit it was incredibly unbelievable. Who could be so extraordinary as to use a stone as a bullet? It's too absurd. If we explained this to the police, we probably wouldn't find a resolution by morning. Qin Wushuang clicked her tongue and continued to put forward her plan. Alright, just tell the police that we were attacked by assassins and that our bodyguards handled it. How they handled it, let the police imagine. I don't know anything. After all, they were indeed assassins. Their identities have been revealed. We were just acting in self-defense. Either way, we have to spend some money, and as long as we clean things up smoothly, it's done. Yi Han shook his head, his voice full of worry. I'm not worried about this matter. What concerns me is who is the one pulling the strings behind this. The first time it was a kidnapping. The second time it was hiring assassins. These people are getting more and more outrageous, disregarding everything. If we don't investigate thoroughly, who knows, there might be a third or fourth wave in the future. That's what we should really be worried about. Upon hearing this, Qin Wushuang nodded. Right, Yi Han is not wrong. Money for selling things is certainly not lacking, but the problem is that the one behind is still lurking in the shadows while we are fully exposed. The enemy is in the dark and we are in the light. How can we eat or sleep peacefully like this? Qin Wushuang suddenly came up with an idea that was equally interesting. Yi Han, if there are international assassins hunting us, the best way is to stick close to Chen Yuan. He is a cultivator of immortality, possessing strange and terrifying powers. Who else can protect us better than him? Just look at those assassins. Before they even get close, Chen Yuan blows their heads off with a rock. Yi Han immediately agreed. That's reasonable, Sister Wushuang. We should stay close to Chen Yuan. It's both safe and gives us a chance to learn more about how powerful a cultivator of immortality really is. I'm so curious. As a result, after several times Chen Yuan tried to drive them away, the more he pushed, the more they were drawn to him, leaving him helpless. At the same time, in Tianmen City, the police were troubled, unsure of who these foreign assassins were targeting. Who would have thought that on that very day, Yi Han and Qin Wushuang would take the initiative to report to the police, revealing that they themselves were the targets of the assassins. The whole city was in an uproar for the crime Lord Qin Tianhong of the Qin family to the 5 elders of the Yi family, all furiously angry. Once this matter was out, it couldn't be stopped. Yet Yi Han and Qin Wushuang, no matter what anyone said, refused to return to Ma Duo. In the end, the elders had no choice but to send a team of elite bodyguards to Tianmen, prepared to protect these 2 young ladies to the maximum extent. This time, Yi Han and Qin Wushuang made the old men so angry that they were on the verge of stepping into the underworld. The old man from the Yi family stopped resting his chin on his hand and stroked his beard instead, his eyes sharp as a razor. These kids are really stubborn. When told to come back, they refuse and want to play some unknown game. I've heard rumors that some assassins were taken down with just a raha. At this moment, Chen Yuan had just returned to the villa and immediately sneaked into his private computer room. He looked around at the state-of-the-art equipment he had spent $10 million to prepare, booted up the computer, and pulled out the assassin's phone, starting to showcase his hacking skills as usual. For him, cracking the code and unlocking this phone was as easy as eating candy. Chen Yuan's super-fast computer whirred effortlessly, allowing him to quickly access all the information, from social media messages to bank transactions of the assassins. But unfortunately, being professional assassins, they certainly didn't reveal any clear information. In the ordinary messages, there were no suspicious conversations or transactions. Instead, they used Morse code and secret signals to exchange information. Chen Yuan smiled confidently. With his ability to know above-nose astronomy, below-nose geography, Chen Yuan easily understood Morse code and many different languages. After a thorough examination, he finally discovered an important clue. These assassins had used a deep website called the Darknet, where killers could accept assignments and conduct transactions in secret. Interestingly, this website wasn't accessible to everyone, as it was hidden deep beneath the layers of the internet that ordinary people couldn't reach. The site frequently changed its domain name, and accessing it was not simple at all. It required multiple hops. But with Chen Yuan's exceptional hacking skills, he easily found a way to access it and ultimately logged into the Darknet interface successfully. Chen Yuan smirked. Indeed, these assassins can't fool me, but this little security measure won't get past me. After understanding how the website operated, Chen Yuan also gathered the account and password of one of the assassin groups nicknamed Venomous Snake. Without hesitation, he logged into the Venomous Snake account and began to delve deeper into the secrets of the Darknet. Chen Yuan scanned the information and saw that this team ranked 36th in the International Assassin Leaderboard. The more he read, the more he wondered, what? The Venomous Snake title has completed 99 assassination missions already. Could it be that they have killed at least 99 people? That's impressive. Wait, it feels like they're a bit weak. These people seem quite ordinary. I'm not bragging or being arrogant, but I really think these assassins are too ordinary. It's simply that I handled them more easily than eating a bowl of instant noodles. That said, you have to admit that setting up trucks to hit targets isn't exactly simple. However, what truly amazed Chen Yuan was when he scrolled through the list of missions on the Darknet. These were not just ordinary assassinations, but a black market of contracts with bounties starting from millions of dollars. Particularly, this list even included internationally famous names with bounties reaching hundreds of millions of dollars. This is indeed a playground for seasoned assassins. Easy missions with meager rewards are truly delicious bait for a bunch of assassins to rush in to hunt. As Chen Yuan was scrolling through the list of missions in the living room, he suddenly saw his name on the wanted board with a bounty of $200 million. What? I'm a businessman. Why is there a $200 million bounty on killing a legitimate businessman? Damn. This amount of money is no joke. With $200 million, even kings cannot escape the spotlight, let alone a businessman like me. This one order is equal to hundreds of other orders combined, made once for a lifetime. When Chen Yuan was still browsing his tasks, suddenly the status board of the task changed from gray to green. What now? I was just rejected and now a killer is interested. Before he could catch his breath, Chen Yuan's task suddenly turned gray again and the name of the assassin appeared. Why Shaman Ku? Chen Yuan clicked to check, and this assassin had completed 36 tasks, with a completion rate of 100%, ranking 5th in the world. Oh my, the 5th best assassin in the world is after me. That's impressive. Although I'm confident in my abilities, I can't underestimate my opponent. This world is vast, and I'm not the only one who is skilled. There are many others out there who are better. What made him feel a bit more at ease was knowing which assassin was targeting him, and this gave him a significant advantage.